Yeah, well, we had the earlier. Are we gonna keep chopping it up, buddy? How you doing? That's my cousin. We all cousins, right? Hey, how's it going? Leave me, dude. Look, none of us can have to wait. That's what I said. Right. No, right. Did they? It's right up against the wall. I know. Okay. Call to order the City Council meeting of September 23rd, 2014. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
All members are present.
Could you call to order the Successor Agency, Housing Authority, and Finance Authority?
All members are present. For Housing and Finance, Mayor?
Yes.
All members are present.
Any persons wishing to address the City Council on any item on the agenda may do so at this time.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Joseph Texer. I want to talk about consent item number four, the safety grant for traffic. First, I have mixed feelings about the grant. This council has denied that there are any traffic problems after events at the forum, but this has been inarguably documented to be false. In fact, if this council is tired of hiding from the facts, you can go to the internet, Google dangerous traffic problems after forum events, and see for yourself how dangerously inadequate our traffic control is. In fact, Americans show the video right here on these new TVs. Just Google dangerous traffic problems after forum events and show everybody the truth. Because in a 15-minute video, you see all of the following after the Video Music Awards at Pinkai Drive in Crenshaw. Dozens of drivers making illegal right and left turns. Drivers making right turns and left turns from the wrong lanes. Car after car after car speeding through crosswalks with pedestrians in them. Drivers running through intersections against oncoming traffic after the lights had turned red and after they no longer had the left turn arrow. And I don't mean one or two cars running the arrows, I mean 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cars at a time, endangering drivers and pedestrians by running lights. You see two cars almost having a head-on collision because of it. You see dozens of drivers completely ignoring commands from traffic officers yelling at drivers, drivers yelling at and cursing at traffic officers, drivers blocking lanes for minutes on end refusing to move, others parked in the middle of the street or in the crosswalk refusing to move. You see a limo driver trying to pick up at the forum making an illegal right turn and actually telling the traffic officer that he didn't care if she reported him. You will hear a traffic officer telling me that similarly dangerous traffic problems happen on Manchester Boulevard. And you hear a traffic officer get so tired of being ignored that she radioed for police backup to give tickets. But even after the police came, drivers still ignored traffic officers, and I saw no traffic tickets being given. Police even had to put their bodies in front of cars to keep them from making illegal left turns. And what a coincidence. After the traffic cameras had been in place for a decade, this council turned off all Inglewood's traffic cameras the exact same month as the forum opened. So none of the forum's customers who were breaking the law and putting people's lives at risk had any problems with any nasty tickets. Again, the mayor or anyone can just Google dangerous traffic problems after forum events. And again, that's dangerous traffic problems after forum events, and see how James Butts has lied to hide these dangerous problems. So there is a need to make our streets safer, but I don't think we should use our grant money to pay the forum's bills.
Michael Benbow, District 1. Also would like to refer to number 4 on the consent calendar. And I know exactly what this is all about. This has something to do with improving the overall traffic in the city, and I had something personal to do with this. And I want to encourage you to approve this, and it has nothing to do with that. And it all has something to do with what we're doing with the future here in Inglewood and how we're improving our safety program. No, we don't have a serious safety problem here in this city. This has something to do with a program, which includes bikes and everything else that we're trying to improve our city with, and trying to make this a city that you can get from one place to another without necessarily walking or driving a car. And it has to do with improving the communications between parents and students and kids going to school and all that sort of thing. And this is a good program that's coming in, and I think we've made preparations to make it and implement it in the right way. And I'm looking forward for the council to approve this, and I agree with it 100%.
Good afternoon, Leroy Fisher, the First District, and with regard to number 4, you know, Mr. Texera, he did bring up a point, and I will kind of expound on that too, with regard to these red light cameras. These red light cameras, we had been asking for many months, a year or longer for many of us, to get rid of them. Mayor Butts, you said at one time that you couldn't get rid of them until December, when the contract ran out.
Till January of this year.
January, whatever it was, but, you know, you did. And I don't know if it was because of...
It expired January of this year. The
I see.
contract expired.
Well,
It expired.
okay, but, you know, we had been asking you to do it, and you never did it, but all of a sudden you did do it.
Because we had a
But you
con-
know
no,
what?
no, we had a con-
I'm not,
we
you
had
know
a
what? I'm not,
contract.
stop my time. Thank you,
That's
Mr.
right.
Falco.
We had a contract. You see, it expired in January.
Yeah.
And that's why it stopped in January. So you asked for us to do it, but we were contractually obligated for a 5-year contract that expired.
Okay.
And that's why it stopped in January.
Well, I'm glad that it did stop, and, you know, for
We
whatever...
didn't renew it.
Whatever reason, it didn't need to be. Now then, with 01 here, this Hollywood Park Pacific plan, you know, we've been watching TV so much this past weekend, and they've been talking about in New York and other cities and through this, you know, world, people complaining about the status of the ozone here, you know. And, you know, trees are healthy for that. And with regard to this Hollywood Park Pacific plan, I don't know where they're going with it, you know. But I do know that with regard to part of that, they went down and cut those trees down, 100-year-old trees, older, you know, that would have been very, very healthy for this city, that they could have moved those trees or anything else. It's my hope that the city and Hollywood Park will be respectful to this community and maybe not run around and cut down the rest of those trees. The other thing, finally, that I was wondering, and I hadn't really seen exactly where that new casino was going to be, and would like to maybe have you them expound on it, maybe, you know, to show us exactly where it's going to be and how it's going to be. Thank you.
Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and City Council. I would like to have some brief reports on item 347, 01, 02. Because some of the things are not clear to the residents, and we need oral reports, just brief oral reports. For instance, with the one concerning the casino. In the commercial recreation zone, a reason for the change in the actual location of it, if it's on the same, it is going to be on the same property, we understand, but the necessity for changing the zoning, or is it zoned differently parts of Hollywood Park? That's not quite clear. Now, as far as the residential sound installation, it's moving along, and we trying to figure out when does it expire, if we're gonna have funds that's not used, are they gonna be renewed or still available? Now, DR1, DR2, we need an oral report, and I'm concerned particularly about the Gann Amendment, because that's one way that we should refer that to bond council because of the financial condition of the city. And on DR2 with the annual budget, for the council, when I attended the session on the budget hearings, and there was comments about it was educated and how much you need education and so forth. But I can tell you this, that the presentations were good. But I must tell you this, there's no third quarter report, and to a person that's interested in the financial condition of the city, it was inadequate. And here again, it's questionable about the balancing of the budget because the figures are not there, and then you said, well, you know, we got the thing from finance that we moving in the right direction, where the expenditures are down and the revenue is up. But you've done the draconian cuts. You've cut to the bone as far as the revenue is concerned. I mean, you know, you cut the expenditures with all of the vacancies and things, so we're in a precarious position. And don't say, change my words about, oh, we doom and gloom. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying this area of concern to Mr. Fields and Mr. Akaza, not Mr. Esparza. And this is a concern, and we need some transparency on it.
Great time, Mr. Matthew.
Thank you.
My name is Willie A.G., and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood. And I stand solid behind consent calendar number 4. And 01, I'm solid behind that. I hope this council approves the whole agenda. Thank you.
Good evening, council members. My name is Diane Sombrano, and I got to tell you, it is interesting to me that we're so quick to pass the budget when we still don't have any solutions as to how you're going to fill those vacancies that, well, they're not actually vacancies, they're unauthorized positions at this point that so many people need in each of their departments. I thought it was rather startling that even though I've been here time after time and said we have a shortage of people to mow our lawns and take care of our landscaping, one of you said, oh, surprise, we only have one person to take care of our regional park. I don't know how you couldn't know that. But clearly, if you don't know that, you probably don't know the other numbers. And every time I've come here and said, what is our actual body count compared to our authorized positions, again, we get absolute silence. Judging from the fact that we have so many people who have left us, whatever you're calling that departure, whether it's they're going for a nice little retirement package you don't think they should have had, or maybe you called it a layoff, or whatever you called it, that left us short of bodies. And we have a serious need for bodies to do work. Now, before you start to interrupt, I'm going to encourage everyone to write the governor to support AB 194. That's with regard to chilling public comment by interrupting and limiting speech. So before we go there, that's AB 194. So let me also go on to the specific plan for Hollywood Park, item 01 or 01. We have given Hollywood Park almost everything they've ever wanted. And that's unfortunate. Because you know what? When I look at all the stuff that has happened with that project, I can remember standing before you and talking about Eric Swallow's track record. And yet, just a couple months ago, guess what? A $116 million issue in San Jose with Eric Swallow. Clearly, you should, on occasion, pay attention to those items that the people of this community bring forward to you and investigate yourselves. Unfortunately, I think those campaign contributions frequently cloud your vision. And as we go on with a Hollywood Park tomorrow, I would like to see a map that shows us where the casino will be. I've looked online, I've looked in the paperwork, I've looked everywhere, and I don't see a footprint for the actual casino placement. So that is not actually meeting the minimal requirements of the Brown Act. How can we discuss something we cannot even see, except in theory? I guess Calaware and First Amendment Coalition will be getting their letters to you shortly. Again, AB 194.
Hello, Inglewood family. I'm Wild Bill Widener, and you've got something on here finally that's probably will help some of the poor people, older poor people in the city of Inglewood. That's the council initiative, CI-1, and I hope you pass that because that'll, like I say, it'll probably help out more people in Inglewood and anything you've done since I've been coming to these rooms.
Good evening, Felicia Ford, First District. For item number 4, police staff report recommend approval of agreement with the state of California for traffic safety. I will always say that you never compromise anything that is your 911 or any emergency service that involves the police department and the fire department or staff. And so I recommend that. We all need 911 at some point in time, our families or our friends. So I'm in agreement with item number 4. Thank you.
Thank you. Close public comment. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant register.
Move allow payments.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council and agency members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Item 2, CSA 2, H2, and F1.
Approval of the minutes held for council, successor agency, housing authority, and finance authority for September the 16th.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council and agency members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Consent calendar items 3 through 7.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR1.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution establishing a city port appropriations limitation for the fiscal year 2014-15 as required by the Gann Amendment to the Constitution.
Move adoption.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR2.
Staff report recommending adoption of the fiscal year 2014-15 annual budget.
Move adoption.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. 01.
Oh. Staff report recommending adoption of an ordinance number 14-2, amending certain standards and guidelines of the Hollywood Park Pacific Plan.
Motion to wait for the reading.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Move adoption.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. 02.
Staff report recommending adoption of an ordinance 14-13 to reinstate and expand the CR zone to facilitate and relocation of the Hollywood Park Casino and surrounding areas.
Motion to waive further reading. Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
Adopt the ordinance.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. A1.
Thank you, Mayor. As the CS1 was regarding a closed session on existing litigation on the workers' compensation settlement of Laverne Griffith versus the City of Inglewood. There's a request for approval of the settlement.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
Thank you, Mayor. As to CS2, there was that item was pulled, no discussion was held. And as to A2, oral reports from the city attorneys, there's no oral reports at this time.
CM1.
There are no city manager reports tonight.
CC1.
Oh, thank you, Mayor.
Staff report.
Staff report pertaining to the FPPC 2014 local agency biennial notice.
Receive and file. CC2, Madam City Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Today, I just want to remind people that today was the National Voter Registration Day, and the County of Los Angeles did a big voter drive. With that in mind, I want to remind people that October the 20th is the last day to register to vote for November 4th's election. So you can get the applications, fill them out in our office, we'll forward them on to the county, and we have a couple of events that we are going to have registration drive, and one will be at Councilman Padilla's picnic this Sunday. So we will be there registering people. We're excited about that. The other thing I wanted to remind people that on October the 8th, they're going to have, Pan's Restaurant is going to have a Veterans Appreciation Day. So you should go stop by there. That should be kind of fun and interesting. Thank you very much, Mayor. That's the end of my comments.
Thank you. CT1, Madam City Treasurer.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Would just like to report regarding the bills that was paid for the month of August was $11,347,596.63, and the net payroll was $2,652,327.59, and the total payroll was $13,999,924.22, and for September thus far, $11,871,858.56. And I'd also like to mention that it's a little late last week and that I had a meeting, so I wasn't able to make the council meeting, but I certainly want to thank the mayor and the council for attending the community financial workshop. It was well attended. I certainly want to thank all of the presenters. Had Billy Campbell that spoke. He was from Allstate Insurance Agency. And we had Larry Rochelle and David Wilson spoke. They were from Primerica. And had Victor, I forget Victor's last name, but he spoke also on mortgages. I did speak on reverse mortgages. So it was well attended, so I certainly want to thank each of the council people and the mayor who attended. I certainly appreciate your support. And also, I would like to mention that there was an excellent article that appeared in the Monday Morning, basically talking about a new wave of possible foreclosures. As you know, the USA Today reported, I guess about 6 months ago, that the loan modifications are beginning to adjust as of 2014, and will be adjusting for the next 4 years. I think within the next 5 years, they will be adjusting. And I think it's from that group and others that they're expecting a new wave of foreclosures, but don't expect it to be nowhere nearly as bad as it was in the 2008 meltdown. And some of the reason just has to do with consumer debt, because the home modification didn't do anything regarding consumer debt, and that's a big issue in itself. And consumer debt exceeds $1 trillion, as well as student debt. And of course, we know the national debt is quite up there too, exceeding more than $17 trillion. But anyhow, basically, folks need to make adjustments to try to, adjust their, way of living in order to, curtail their spending. That concludes my comments and my report.
Thank you. CI1.
Initiative by Mayor Buds and Councilmember Morales recommending an increase to the qualified income threshold limits for seniors and disabled residents participating in the city's utility discount program and seniors resident utility tax refund program.
Motion to waive further reading.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
I'll introduce.
Okay.
Could we just have a brief discussion from staff as to what this means for our seniors? If not, I'll do it.
Yeah, and I'll comment.
Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you, and I wish staff was here to really identify really what the changes will be and how we went about it. But the mayor and me have actually been working on this for the last few months in terms of where the threshold is for some of the seniors to establish themselves qualified for this program where they get a refund on their utility taxes paid. Some of them had relied on it for years. And when their income raised slightly, they became unqualified, so we started to study the issue. And this is the first step to making sure that folks that are still on a fixed income that really need this program will qualify. And I know the mayor will go one step further and direct the city attorney as appropriate. Thank you.
In a nutshell, we had some seniors that because they received their costs and an adjustment in their cost of living, now having to pay their utility users tax actually caused them to get an income cut. And so we have taken steps to index this in the future so it won't happen and raise the threshold for qualification or lower the threshold for qualification by allowing you to make more money. And we're directing city attorney to prepare a resolution establishing the eligible income level threshold for the participants of both programs. I so move.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. We're making some changes. The clerk's remarks are going to be limited to 3 minutes, as she was kind enough to do today. Second, public comments are now limited to 1 minute, and that's going to be the way we go in the future. So, public comment regarding other matters. Person who wishes to address the council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered may do so at this time.
You got a point there, Lonzo. I was going to talk about the red light cameras, but this is just, if you're trying to prove to everybody how crooked you are, you're good. You are really good. You have the ability, because I've been to other meetings, supervisors and whatnot, if we have 1,000 people in here about some issue, you can cut the time down, but to just say, we're going to cut the time down to a minute, just, I don't know why, just because we want to limit what people say. How were you raised? Where do you get this from?
Would you take him out?
Excuse me? Why exactly would you choose to do that? I want you to explain that.
I don't honor him. I don't honor any of them. But I will tell you that last week I asked about the covenant for these hospitals. You had opportunity, I hope, to find out about it. I guess none of you have or will. But why have the hospital, the covenant on the Freeman Hospital, been abandoned? Maybe because you were making things right for a particular church, But I asked you, over in Marina Del Rey, the hospital site there, it was scheduled to be put up apartment buildings, and the people over there said, no, we have a covenant. And I wondered why the other thing I'm going to leave with you is last week I gave this document. It happens to be Mrs. Collins, who is a resident of this city for more than 50 years. She passed away, but there was a school named in her honor. I gave that to the clerk to make copies because I only had a couple copies to give to each one of you. And not one of you people had the decency to give her the respect that she deserved for all the things that she's done in this lousy city that you propose to govern. Screw you all.
Gil Matthew, District 4. Mayor Bunce, this is a new low for this city. And it's a, tell all the residents, this is why you need leadership in this city. You're attempting to silence people. It's a veiled attempt to silence the people. And this is a new low. And the rest of the turkeys sitting on this council, you all need to be replaced. Every one of you. Every single one of you. You're a disgrace to the city of Inglewood and Mayor Butts. I don't know what your problem is, but you're never going to silence the people. You're worse than the Tea Party. You're worse. I think you got to look at the man in the mirror, and I don't know how you do it. I don't even know how you sleep at night. It's a disgrace to this city. You cannot silence the people. You're going to pay for it.
I better hurry up. Good evening, Mayor. How many was at the forum Sunday night? Well, you got a dancing berry here, and we had a wonderful time. But why I'm here is that I left on your diocese something that took place last night. Inglewood Unified School District has came out with a tremendous program. The sad part about it is a $148 million project, and there was no residents. And that's really incredible. So why I'm here, just asking for a suggestion that the mayor and the council get with the board to at least get our residents out, and many of you have your own town meetings and all, because this is something that's very unique. And it was just sad that the participation on the part of the residents were not there, and I was there and I enjoyed the presentation. And I wanted to make sure you had copies of it. You might have it already and all, but to a $148 million project is something not to just to wave in the mirror and all. Thank you so very much.
Aldine Sly, First District. This is Gestapo. This is Germany. Hitler and the Jews. You're trying to silence people, and you're so opaque, it's insane. You're going to be taken care of. Councilman Dotson, I'd like to know what is being done, what's happening with the previous Warren Lane School. I would be happy if you would answer that question for me. But you fellas sitting up there, I did have respect for you, but it's gone out the window now. It's gone. You don't care, I know, because you're getting your pockets filled. But enjoy it while you can.
My name is Diane Sombrano. As I said, AB 194 will come hit you upside the head faster than you know what hit you. And you know what's really sad is that you are the perfect picture. At one point, one of you quoted Cicero. Now you are taking on the actions of Mussolini. That's precisely what he did. This entire country was based on the foundation that we, the people, not you, the elected, but we, the people, are the ones who should be listened to, that you should take the actions that we direct, not the ones that please your little hearts. And you know what? I'm reminded of that wonderful song, The Church Triumphant. Anyone remember that? Oh, the church let blah, 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 blah. Don't have time to carry it on. It's the Gaithers. But that rushing river, which is forced to run underground, comes back. You know what? They tried to silence the Christians, beheading them, burning them, and all that. Guess what? Churches abound, and Christ lives. Try not to be so foolish, because it will smack you in a way you can't imagine. You just gave every opponent and people who never thought of not voting to vote for anyone except James T. Butts.
Some say people, life has treated them unkind. Some say the world has so much hate and not enough love, and that's true. Now, what can we do about it? Some things that we are affected by come once in a lifetime. Many other things come like troubles often. First, the Lord requires us to do one thing, and that's to love one another and to show respect for one another. I asked you today, I have a different agenda than what's going on, and that is to stop the violence, stop the killing, and stop the hurting one another. My sisters and brothers are in need of food, and they are hunger. They are in need of housing. Let's feed them and let's help them. You know, the Lord requires us to respect and to love one another. And I'm asking you to do just that. You know, I thank you for allowing me to speak and being a voice sometimes for the people in the city of Inglewood. And I know my time is running out, and I thank all of you, Mayor Butts and City Council. But I want to say very strongly, I'm always going to come to this podium to show you respect as you have shown me respect in the city of Inglewood. And I want you to do what is required of you, and that is to love one another, to help one another, and to show respect for one another.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and staff. Renald Davis, 2nd District. I'll speak quickly. Gosh, cutting it to a minute is cutting it. I think you're reasonable men. I'm sure you're going to give us a reason why you cut it to a minute. I can venture to guess why there might be some reasons, but I'll let you speak for yourself. You're men. You're the people we elected, so that's what I'll wait for. Hopefully we can come to some sort of middle ground on it. I would appreciate it, maybe some feedback. Other city council meetings I've been to, they have cards that you fill out where you have something, you have to show you have something specifically to say when you come up here. And it's not just your own bully pulpit. But with my last 10 seconds, and maybe allow me a little extra time.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted
Absolutely.
to quickly say something.
Please.
I've come up and over the years, District 3 and District 4 will vouch for the fact that I've used this term, council, mayor, make history. You can do it. I've always believed in you, that you could do that, no matter who was sitting up there. And it seems as though you did make history, and it went right over my head. With what happened to this city and many other cities fiscally, if you had followed the same path as Vallejo, San Bernardino, and all these other cities that are now in bankruptcy and are going to be going into bankruptcy, we'd ended up just like them. But you took a different path. It was painful. You've made enemies. You've annoyed people. But we have not declared bankruptcy. And I thank you for that. There are folks down the road that say, hey, that it's all smoke and mirrors. I hope those people are wrong. But that's where we are. I won't take up anybody else this time. I appreciate you guys letting me talk a little longer. Thank you.
My name is Willie A.G. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my extra time. I support you. I don't have to listen to all this rhetoric from the naysayers. I can go home and sleep at night. I don't have to dream about the naysayers back here demeaning this council and staff and everybody. 1 minute is plenty of time for me. As a matter of fact, I was gonna suggest to you that you cut it down to 1 minute. You know, if you got anything positive to say, you can say it. And I'm tired of seeing people disrespect this council and staff. It's sickening, and this will partly take care of it. And if they continue to come up here demeaning everybody, then I'm gonna ask you to cut it down to 30 seconds. Thank you very much.
Bill, that, you shouldn't do that, right? You know that, right? Bill, you shouldn't compare anything to the exterminations of millions of people. Don't do that, okay? It's not right. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mayor Council. Well, I'm voting for Mayor James T. Butts Jr. That's where my vote is going. And you know why I'm voting for this man? Because he kept us alive. This council, the staff, city manager, city clerk, all of you all kept us above water. You all worked together. You brought us, like I said, with $3 in the bank. We ain't had nothing. So, yes, you got my vote and everyone else up there. Also, I want to congratulate you on the forum. The forum turned out to be a very, very nice thing. It was crowded. But it was nice, Mayor. You got up there, you did a nice presentation. It meant a lot to the people of Inglewood that you did make them recognize that you wasn't in LA, you were in Inglewood. So, yes, I am voting for the same one sitting up there. Y'all got my vote.
Michael Benbow, First District. Also like to bring about something that was really, really nice Sunday night, and that was that Frankie Beverly Mays and Patti LaBelle concert, and it was really nice. And I saw a nice group of, let's say, 45 and older. It was great. And we came up during an era where the music was about love. And I really appreciate it. And you could see it all through the audience. Frankie Beverly didn't have to sing. We sung all the songs. He could have sat down and it would not have changed the difference. That concert was something we need, and I appreciate it bringing it forward. I congratulate Bounce TV for sponsoring it and that sort of thing, and I admire that this city took it on, and we did a good job with it. And I second that emotion. My votes go there.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, and Stuart Bailey. And I'd just like to say it's been an interesting evening. We've made some interesting observations, and we've heard some interesting things from the audience. A minute? Okay, you can say what you can say with meaning in a minute. But I think some of our older residents that have been here in the city for a long time don't like it because they have to emphasize that point with more than a minute. And it angers them now that they have to be censored or, But if, like the lady said, if you have something reverent to say, just say it. Just, and be done with it. Don't just harp a point or try to beat up on a horse that's dead. Just say it and move on. We'll deal with it later. In the back room, we'll talk to you one-on-one, but this is the way it's going to be. So deal with it. Thank you.
Closed public comment. Council comment, Councilman Dodson.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to say good evening. I attended several block clubs this past weekend. Wonderful time. I thoroughly enjoyed the Hispanic Heritage event. It was very well attended, and the food was good. They had a couple of lunch trucks out there. I also was able to attend the Around the Block Club event. It was very nice. We had one little hiccup. I was not formally induced, but I enjoyed the food and the band and the drums, and I like the idea of the kids participating with the circle of drums. I want to say something about the trees in Hollywood Park. A lot of those trees are being saved. They took them out and they put them in a container, and they are being saved. So we know about some of the trees in Hollywood Park. Warren Lane, they're working on the school right now. I was told, but I don't think that's possible, that it would be school for the disabled, but I don't think that's possible. But I will find out and let her know. I need you to mark your calendars for this coming Saturday, September the 27th, 9 to 12. We'll be having our district shredding event, so bring your important papers and get them shredded. Mark your calendar for October the 11th, from 10 to 12. District 1 will hold their town hall meeting. There are going to be a lot of interesting things said and done there. We're going to have people talking about jobs and how to get jobs with Southern California Edison, Southern California Gas, and AT&T, along with the fire department and the police department. So you want to mark your calendar for that and show up and get the information that they have and enjoy some of the food that will be there. I thank you for coming out, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of quick things. Number one is, some of you where you're sitting, you might have a flyer. We want to invite everybody to our District 2 picnic. That's this Sunday from 12 to 3 at North Park. Hopefully you can come out and enjoy a day getting to know the neighbors. I also, enjoyed the Hispanic Heritage event over at Crozier School. Kudos to Sabrina Barnes and Teresa Estrada for a job well done getting that together. I also want to thank several of the block clubs for inviting us to their event, for their hospitality, some great food, and some awesome entertainment. We enjoy coming out and mingling with the residents, the business owners, and hearing their concerns when they're out in the street. There's nothing like breaking bread together to find out what's going on in our community. It's a great opportunity. That being said, thank you for being out here tonight. Have a good week. Enjoy yourself with you and your family.
Thank you. Councilman Morales.
Thank you. Briefly, just want to touch on a couple things. Thanks to everybody for coming out, but Hollywood Park was mentioned as not putting in the time and not getting handed things. I have to say that I haven't seen a corporation at all come into this city and not put in their time. Before they even came to us, they spent a good probably 3 years going and having community meetings and extending the just complete openness as to their project. That's an amazing feat. I can't tell you, Gerard is here, but I know that he went to a couple meetings, a lot of meetings where there was maybe 2 and 3 people in a living room, tons of those, just to answer questions. It's an amazing the way that they've put in the time, so no one's handing them anything. I wanted to thank Mr. Brown for bringing the plan that the school district's working on. Some of us have actually spoken to them at length. I know that some of the schools in my area are being affected, so we've had these conversations with residents, and they are listening. They are developing their plan, for the long term. It's a great plan, and as you know, the schools will be better for it. Thank you for staff for putting together the Hispanic Heritage celebration. It was great, and it's going to continue to grow every year. The block clubs, can't say enough about the folks that invite us out to really mingle. You really get to see how the residents truly feel. They ask the questions they want. As Alex said, you get to sit down and eat with them. It's great food, but above all else, creates the kind of community that we enjoy, so we're fully supportive of them. ABC Club, Truro, Gravilla, great job. So thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Franklin?
Okay, so let me piggyback from where my colleagues talked about the block parties, block club events that he mentioned. They were outstanding. It's great to have the community of unity working together for the common cause, not only of the block, but also of the elected officials coming there, as well as public safety, and expressing the residents expressing their support for our efforts. I also am very elated with the Hispanic Heritage Group. There was a lot of time, effort put out there, and that there was a lot of quality performances. So my heart goes out to the staff for making it happen, and the weather worked even better. That worked well. The school alignment, I've been made aware of that as well. I was waiting on the presentation, which occurred last night, so I can then reach out, because there are significant impacts of modifications, particularly with Benacue now becoming a middle school as well. And the main thing that I would just want to stress, that the south side of town has been inclusive, not exclusive, because there's been a number of the Major K money I've been fighting to try to get into our campuses, and it's finally has made it. Now they're also making a presence of making sure Monroe and Benacue are part of that anomaly to make sure things come into reality. I want to stress the importance of being the chair of any meeting. I chair several meetings, and it's at the will of the chair to make a determination of what is doable and what is not doable, and make determination of what is the quality time, so that way all can benefit. And so this is the clear example of the leadership of our council and our mayor, identifying that we're giving them the opportunities to be able to speak. And I want to stress, it's not O News, it says on any other matter connected with city business. And so I've only heard one individual out of all those that spoke that talked about something that wasn't already on the agenda or they already spoke about. So, and also even that, as the will of the chair does have the ability to grant an individual's more time so that way they can get their point across. So it's not exclusion, it's inclusion. And we ask that if you're going to talk to the council, to address the matters that's on that you want to bring forward versus the issue about the timeline. And I think we work on that, it becomes a win-win, and also benefit for our staff time in this council to gravitate. And also, our offices are open. So if you want to still talk to us about specific items and issues of the city or the council, we're at your disposal. And so my hat's off to our leading chair, the mayor. Thank you.
Mr. Fisher, I don't know of any covenant restriction that was violated. It usually is something that has to be legal that's passed between buyer and seller. So I don't know what you're talking about, but if you want to call, I'll definitely look into it further. As far as Hollywood Park has been the consummate partner and neighbor for the city. They could have bankrupted their LLC back when the recession hit, as most big companies did that engaged in big projects. But what did they do? They hung in here. They financed again and doubled down. And as a result, they're here going to do a quality project that's going to employ thousands of people, many of them residents. So I feel glad that the city can partner with Hollywood Park tomorrow. The Frankie Beverly concert was outstanding. The demographic was age 50 to 70. There wasn't a lot of standing in some parts of the audience, but and not a lot of marijuana smoking, but it was something for community pride. It was something else for community pride. And what we're going to try to do, we don't want to censor anybody, because actually you can say whatever you want, but we talk too much in these council meetings. Just talk too much. We're going to try and stay, under our 3 minutes. The city treasurer is going to stay to 3, and actually the public gets 4 minutes now. They have 3 minutes before and a minute after. So I don't see how that would be unreasonable. It just makes you be more concise. and we do need to learn to get our points out and be concise. But we want people to say whatever they say, and the chair has the opportunity anytime, to let someone go on if they do have points. So we're not trying to, and then to make this comparison to Nazis and Hitler, boy, you don't really know what the Jews suffered if you say things like that. So let's just be big people and be concise, and we'll survive. So anyway, we're adjourned.
That's how it starts, though, huh? It starts like